Hey everybody, Max here, and today I'm going to be looking at the Valaverse Action Force Big Bad Toy Store exclusive Night Ops Senshi figure. This is a part of Series 5 and is the 10th figure in the wave. It comes on this really cool burgundy colored card, and because it's an exclusive, it comes with 3 action points. And it's the same information on the file card, but if you want to pause it and read it, you can, and has different artwork. So then the standard release, which is blue and has 2 action points. So that's kind of cool. It's the exact same figure with a couple of tweaks, but you get 1 extra action point. So if you're into saving up those for something that you can mail off for later on down the line, that's cool. You be the judge if $30 in 1 action point is worth it, but then again, the standard release is about $30 anyway. So there you go. Let's dive into the accessories before we dive into the figure like we normally do. It comes with, he's got a trigger finger and a gripping hand on, so right and left, and he comes with the right and left, or left and right trigger finger gripping hand, the right and left cupping hands, right and left fists, kind of glossy. Comes with the new night vision, flip up night vision goggles. The standard release comes in fluorescent, kind of a fluorescent green on the lenses. This has red, but it is the exact same thing. There's a flat black helmet in the new style, which I quite like. And the samurai mask is black with silver teeth as opposed to the standard release, which is silver and red teeth. And they painted the straps a kind of grayish green color. And then the headdress is solid black with some silver on the front. I actually, like I said, I bought it. I'm kind of surprised. It's really more, I knew that this was coming. I was going to get this one. I was always planning on getting this one, and I almost didn't get the standard release, but now I have both of them. And, you know, I'll explain why. I made it work. So, yeah, there's been some issues with the new Senshi figure. And, well, there's practically been an issue with every figure in this wave. But we'll talk about that in just a second. So, continuing with the accessories, it plugs in there, and like all of the new night vision goggles for this wave, the peg is too long and it doesn't line up with the eyes. So just kind of, I will put the helmet on in a minute, but I didn't want to have it displayed because I wanted to show off all the paint on the new head, or the paint on the head, because it's the same face as the other one, but we'll get into that. Comes with the same short barrel rifle with the drop down magazine and a ported suppressor that slides over the end of the barrel. I actually kind of like that system better than the pegged system for plastic suppressors. So looks pretty cool, and I like this new gun. So this is a nice addition to the arsenal of Action Force. So he comes with same sword, but in a, well, he grips so well, I can't get it out of his hand. There we go. All right, so samurai sword with silver highlights, or silver hilt, or bottom of the hilt. And I think there's some gold on the original, and then, but it's all just black and silver on this one. So, and it slides into his sheath just like that. And it fits rather snugly. Comes with this really cool new SOCOM style pistol, and I really like it. I think this is a nice addition to the arsenal as well. It comes with a suppressor. It has the pegged, it's a pegged suppressor instead of the slide-on suppressor, but it has got some pretty good detail. So no complaints there. I do not like this holster system. It looks like a carry bucket for like a cleaning lady or a cleaning person. Like you'd put your cleaning supplies in here, and it just doesn't really look well. I think I would have preferred just a holster that just held the gun, and the suppressor went somewhere else. And because there's not a lot of tension in this thing, and so it's the same Same situation as the standard issue Senshi. So there is that. So just kind of keep that in mind. You can, it's a part of this plate armor, so you can slide that off. And if you have other, other leftover like accessory packs, weapons packs, that sort of thing, like say, gosh, I bought so many of the Arctic gear packs and dyed them different colors. You can do that, and heck, I may just buy a couple more and swap out some of the things that I don't like about Series 5, and this is one of them. This is okay. The magazine carrier on the left leg, that looks okay. Good retention there, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. The articulation is the same as we have come to see from all of these wonderful figures, but let's talk about the head sculpt, and it's the same, although I think in comparison to the regular Senshi, I think Senshi may be bald and he is wearing a toupee, and he put it on wrong. It's a little off kilter compared. So yeah. Hey, dude, just be you. Just be bald. Just go for the gusto. You don't need to wear a toupee. It's okay. We all know it's fake. So just be real. So his toupee is a little off kilter, but the paint is very good all the way around, and there's no overspray. It's very nice and clean. Of all the paint, gosh, I've really been dogging on Hasbro and Marvel Legends, mainly Marvel Legends, because their paint's kind of just so cheap that they could certainly take some lessons from whoever did this. I really like it. It turned out really well. It's not bleeding. It's very sharp lines. It's not faded. Just really good. Whoever did this did a really great job. But I'm honestly probably not going to display him with this figure. I'll probably, because I'm going to have the helmet on most of the time, and I'll probably just keep this guy on it, because I know people are kind of dogged out on this. He's kind of blank. He's kind of has a blank expression, not a lot of emotion or anything like that. But I don't know. I like both of them, but if this is going to be covered up by a helmet and a mask anyway, maybe I'll put it on something else. But it is what it is. And so it has the new floating neck with the disc hinge and really good range of motion. Looks a little weird looking all the way up, like he's been a victim of a really bad tracheotomy. Looks down really far. And I don't think they've really worked the bugs out of this floating neck system. So it kind of has a little bit of, some of these figures in Wave 5 have kind of a bobble to them. And with this figure, now they didn't paint the gray all the way down the neck. So this is supposed to be part of an undershirt, right? And so you can tell they didn't go all the way down, and like they did with the standard release, which is black all the way down. So that's one little goof right there. But that's not too big of an issue, because I have this spare busted Recon Trooper. I'll just take this neck out and just swap it out. So I've been looking for ways to break apart and use different pieces from this. I've already used the legs, and so if you haven't watched my QC video on this, check it out. And if you have, thanks for watching it. That's been my most viewed video. So I have just done a kind of an update on that with regard, and added that in with my Recon Gear Pack video. So check that out if you haven't already. So anyway, I'm going to swap this out for that neck piece, because strangely enough, that just bugs me. So that's great. That's one thing about Action Force that I really like, is the modularity and how everything is meant to be swapped out. He made it easy to do, so that's great. So that's one of the pluses about Action Force. So into the articulation. Let me get the sword and everything out. And so we did the neck and the head. Pretty good waist swivel with this vest, which I quite like in the gray and the black. I mean, I like the design of it. I think it could have been a darker green in the other one, but this is really sweet. And so I quite like this design and everything. So I would have liked the Action Force logo to be right there, but other than that, comes with the shoulder, upper arm plates, and I got to give a shout out to one of my reviewers, or one of my somebody commented in my Senshi video that the plates are upside down. the way they're designed, so it goes on the arm like this, but if you, hopefully you can see that the plates overlap, but they're going up instead. They should be going down. They're overlapping, like they should be going down and not the way they're. Anyway, I hope that made sense. So essentially, I mean, you can reverse it. It's just not going to look as good, but it should be more like that. So I'm kind of wondering why it wasn't designed, you know, if it was meant to be, you know, like in that direction, have it, yeah, and yet thinner at the top. Let's start at the top and work our way down so that it's, you know, well, it's like this one, but reverse the direction, the way the plates are supposed to overlap. So somebody pointed that out to me, and now that I see it, I can't unsee it. But I don't really like shoulder pads and things like that on a lot of my figures because they just kind of get in the way and they limit articulation. So, but I just wanted to point that out. Thank you, friendly viewer, for making that comment and pointing that out to me. I think he looks better this way, but he's got pretty good range of motion in the arms, so they've got a good T-pose, goes all the way around. And there's a little bit of a wobble, a little bit of a loosey-goosey right here. It holds its position. It's just a little bit right there. But the bicep swivel on both arms is good. The obviously double jointed, pinless, and the left arm has a little bit of a wobble like we've seen on practically every figure in this wave, but this one is very loose in the upper elbow. So it's, you know, just kind of, you know, it holds its position, but if it holds a gun or something, it's probably like a bigger gun, rifle, something like that. So it kind of does that, and there's a little malformation in the plastic too. Hopefully you can see that there's a little bit of a hole right there, and that's not great. So I'm going to be using my handy dandy Mod Podge to fix that. But it doesn't fling around. The wrist doesn't spin around like a pinwheel or a propeller as bad as on the standard release. So you get the hand in there, get the hand in there, the sword in there into its hand, and I hope I didn't just break it. There we go. Very tight. It's not as loose as it once was, and that's a good thing. And other hands, I've tested out every hand in this particular set, and they're pretty fine. They're not crazy stiff, but they're not bad loose. So it's not as bad, but it's still kind of there. So that might annoy some. But it's kind of a good excuse to get the Alpha Handpack Alpha, because I've tested every hand in Handpack Alpha with the Senshi figure, and they fit snugly. So at least that problem is not present as bad with this iteration of the character, but it does have this weird kind of loose right arm in places. So, and that's really the only problem. Butterfly joint is as good as always. And let's see, it has the detachable belt. It pegs out back here. It's kind of hidden by this pouch, but paint turned out really, really good. I like this kind of matte red as opposed to the brighter kind of Christmas red. I wish this red was on the other figure, so that would have been awesome too. So, but he gets pretty good splits. The everything, the thigh holsters get in the way a little bit. He kicks up. Oh, drop down hips too, so he can kick up about, let's see, oh, past 90 degrees, pretty good, yeah. And I'm not a big fan of drop down hips, but these are okay. These are pretty tight, so that's good. As long as the joints are tight, it just kind of, it gives you a little more options for posability and everything. And pretty stiff thigh swivel. There's always a give kind of in the upper hip joint right there anyway, that ball, but then you have the, and I'm always a little hesitant, you know, particularly if the thigh swivel is really tight. I don't want to pop the leg loose, so be careful with that because these are really stiff. And the same with the knees too. I usually demonstrate the left leg for how bad or how far it goes back. The right leg is really stiff, so it goes back this far, same as the regular one. Oh, yeah, there you go. You might have to heat him up a little bit. And then he's got the boot swivel, shin swivel, not a boot swivel. It's a shin swivel because there's no boot. And then, which I rather like this new system. You probably, if you watched my other Senshi video, you probably heard me talk about it. So that they can have characters with long pants and no boots and yet still have a swivel at the shin, so that's cool. But I have noticed that it seems to be a difference in plastic. There seems to be on some of these figures kind of a matte color in the shin, lower shin, than the upper part. So maybe you've noticed that too. I don't know if it really shows up on the camera, but the paint, the gray and the knee pads, the black, all that blackish gray, turned out really well. I like that it's kind of a flat, and I definitely like the green up here. That's like I said, I would have preferred maybe that kind of green on the other figure, but that's the articulation, and it has good articulation in the feet. So nothing to complain about there. So that's the articulation. So other than the right arm, and if I could, I mean, I was toying with swapping it out with this one, but it just doesn't match, and these arms are crap, so I'm not going to be doing that. There's probably no use for those arms at all. But on a whole, I do like this figure. I think he turned out, for the most part, fairly well, and doesn't have some of the issues that I had with the other one, but of course it has some of its own issues. So we're still seeing some QC issues with this particular way, which is disappointing. But here's hoping that they get it worked out before long, because as it stands now, I am probably not going to be buying any new Action Force figures until more reviews come out. And if I hear reviews that they're good, yeah, then I'll probably start purchasing them, because I don't want to, I want to get the bang for my buck. So here is the standard issue, and I have kind of kit bashed him a bit. So in my other Senshi video, I was talking about not really liking the color scheme, and so since I have these extra legs from my busted up Recon Trooper, I thought, well, I want to try this out. I'm going to swap it out and see what it looks like. And I quite like it. I mean, I still don't like the thigh armor and everything. And like I said before, I don't really like this holster. But I don't know. It kind of looks cool. And I have all these extra Recon Core Trooper heads that I can swap out. And the Recon Core Trooper hands that come with it fit better in the standard arms. They don't there's more tension than the hands that came with Senshi. So maybe it's just those particular hands. So we got to kind of have a mixture of different greens. So like I said, but it works. I kind of look at it as maybe Senshi has been training other men in the way of Bushido, and this is one of his disciples. And I think I mentioned in another video, my Recon pack, Recon gear pack, this is Sidewinder's helmet. And Sidewinder has a smaller head than this guy, and so this head stretched it out, and it will not fit. It will not fit on Sidewinder's head anymore. So I put the original Senshi on Sidewinder, this original Senshi helmet, and and I kind of like, I can see these guys being like a 3-man Night Ops hit team or something like that, and him getting into kind of the samurai code. And the reason I think it really works better on Sidewinder, this particular silver mask and everything, is look at those eyes. I mean, those eyebrows and everything, it just looks, I don't know, much more serious than the blank expression that we get with Senshi. So you know, and he's basically got his own sword too. So, you know, hey, you know, he can be a samurai too. Why not? So anyway, so that is Night Ops Senshi, and now he has a couple of guys. He's got a three-man team here. They can go out at night and take care of business for Action Force. So, well, let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm going to give this guy a warp factor of 8. Yeah, the arm bugs me, and that's what brings it down a bit. But the paint's really good. I like the color scheme. Same accessories. The swivel hands are better, and I like that we're finally getting a little more customizability. You know, we're finally getting some male figures that have, you know, they're unmasked, and we can swap them out, put them on different figures. You know, if you have a bunch of Steel Corps or Steel Brigade figures, you know, you can put these unmasked heads on them, and, you know, just play around with it. So that's kind of what I've been doing, and that's what I like about Action Force. So now I just have to figure out, what am I going to do with these legs? If you have a suggestion that's clean and friendly, let me know in the comment section. And otherwise, I'm going to give this guy a warp factor of 8, and I will talk to you guys next time. Hey guys, I just remembered one thing I didn't do was show you what he looked like with the helmet on. So here he is with the Night Ops Samurai helmet on with the headdress, and then here he is with the night vision goggles. And he's ready to rock and roll. All right, take care guys.